driving was not an option because I've heard from everyone that the traffic in California is pathetic. I heard a story from my colleague where he was actually standing in the bus for 2 full hours because he did not get place to sit. Hi everyone, welcome to this YouTube video. My name is Sonakshi Pandey, and in this video I'm going to share with you my true life experience. So I put up a post on Instagram where I shared a life update. I shared that I almost relocated to California, but at the end moment I decided not to move and stay in Washington instead. You won't believe I received at least 15 messages on my Instagram inbox asking me to share the reason why I did not relocate to California. So based on public demand, I decided to create this video to share with you the reasons why I did not relocate to California. I will also do a side-by-side pay comparison to show you the impact of moving from Washington to California. A little bit of a backstory. When I received my offer, I initially started working for a team that was based in San Francisco, California. Since it was the COVID times, I was easily able to work remotely from Washington. Now, after return to office started, my employer expected me to relocate to California. So to get an idea of what the renting situation is, I actually visited California in March 2022 and I took a look at a lot of apartments, got a sense of the locality, I saw the proximity to the grocery store, and also I wanted to get a sense of what the travel time would be from my apartment to the office. And let me tell you, the results that I found were disappointing. I will share more details on that in the later part of this video. So the number one reason why I decided not to move is high cost of living. A CNBC article has quoted that California is the third most costliest state to stay in America, and I 100% agree with the article. So I toured a lot of apartments when I visited California and I noticed that the rent was incredibly high. So for example, I am currently able to afford a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment in Seattle for $2,700 per month. Now, for equal amount of money, I was only able to afford a 1-bedroom apartment in California. So, living wise, renting situation wise, moving to California was a big downgrade for me. Other than that, the apartments that I was able to afford were, based in Cupertino, San Jose, and it would have taken me about 2 to 3 hours to travel from San Jose to San Francisco one way. So basically, I would have spent 4 hours traveling per day if I would have moved to California. Let me show you a side-by-side comparison of cost of living between Seattle and San Francisco. NerdWallet's cost of living calculator. The reason why this is my favorite tool is because it allows you to specify 2 cities and your income. So it will actually show you how much your income needs to change if you want to maintain a similar cost of living when you move to a new city. So for example, I was based in Seattle, and let's say for example, if I was making 100K per year, and let's say if I wanted to relocate to San Francisco, where my new office was based out of, then this means that this tool is saying that your salary needs to be 26% higher if you want to maintain a similar cost of living in San Francisco. And of course, this tool is giving you this approximate calculation based on what NerdWallet has observed differences in the housing cost, transportation cost, food, entertainment, healthcare, and school costs, right? So ideally, if I move from Seattle to San Francisco, and if my salary grows by 26%, I will be able to maintain a similar cost of living and have similar savings. Now, this is what the tool is saying, but the reality is very different. In the real world, companies do not give you a 26% hike when you move from Washington to California. Or actually, let me correct that. Not all companies give you a 26% hike when you move from Washington to California. So in my case, I was getting about a 10 to 15% hike when I was changing my state, and a 10 to 15% hike was going to cost a lot of dent in my savings, and it was also going to affect my cost of living. So by now you must have guessed my reason number 2. In case you did not, it is insane travel situation. So basically the only apartments that I was able to afford were at least 2 to 3 hours away from San Francisco, somewhere in San Jose, Cupertino area. Now the problem with this was I would have spent 4 to 6 hours daily traveling from my home to the office. Apart from this, driving was not an option because I've heard from everyone that the traffic in California is pathetic. I heard a story from my colleague where he was actually standing in the bus for 2 full hours because he did not get place to sit. So even though the public transport in California is decent, it is very crowded and the chances that you will get to sit from your home to the office are very less. Reason number 3 why I did not relocate is because of the taxes. If you were not aware, Washington state does not have state tax, whereas the state tax in California is about 6.5%. Check out this paycheck comparison that I have done for Seattle and San Francisco and see it for yourself. The Smart Assets Paycheck Calculator. Now, the way this works is you specify your location, your deductions and your withholdings, and you specify your yearly income. And based on all these parameters, it tells you what your approximate take-home income will be. So for example, if you're based in Seattle and if you're making $100K per year, you will approximately take home $6,273. So, it's pretty awesome. And I personally feel that the result of this tool is pretty accurate. Of course, it won't give you like a dollar-to-dollar accuracy because it depends on how much money you're contributing in your 401k, in your medical, dental insurance, and in HSA and other things, right? So, but I would say that approximately this tool gives you a very good ballpark of what your take-home income will be. So, that's what I wanted to share with you. Apart from that, another thing to notice is that the state income tax of the Washington state is 0%. Now let's compare these numbers with California numbers. So if I go here and if I show you, so let's say if you're based in San Francisco and if you're making $100K per year, you will approximately take home $5,532. Now you will notice that this is a $700 difference on a monthly basis as compared to the Washington state. Another thing I wanted to bring to your notice is the state income tax of California state is approximately 6.46%, which is almost $500 per month. So that is how much more you will be paying in taxes if you're based in California. Now I mentioned that employers generally give you a hike of almost 10%. So let's say if your employer gives you like a 10% hike, then you will approximately take home 6K per month. If your employer gives you, let's say, a 15% hike, you will approximately take home the same amount as Washington or the same amount as Seattle, right? So basically, as per this calculator, if you're given a 15% hike, you will take home the same, amount of dollars. Now, one thing to notice here is, even though, let's say, if your employer gives you 15% more salary, for relocating to California, the problem is that even though tax-wise you will take home the same amount, but there is a high cost of living. You'll pay almost double the amount of rent if you're staying in California. You will spend a lot of money in taxes when you go out grocery shopping or when you go to restaurants, when you go outside for other activities. So at the end of the day, even though if you get a 15% hike in your salary, you end up saving much less if you stay in California. So this is what, I made all these calculations before I actually moved to California. And this was pretty eye-opening. And I realized based on the hike that I was getting, I was going to go in a loss of almost $1,000 to $2,000 per month. Apart from this, I have read that California has a lot of wildfires. The education system is not that great. And if you want to buy a house, you will have to go up north somewhere in Sacramento. And if you have to travel every day to San Francisco, you will spend 4 hours traveling every single day. These are some other reasons that influenced my decision not to move from Seattle to California. I know I shared a lot of cons of moving to California, but also let me share with you a few advantages of moving to California. So the first one is California weather is awesome and it has tons of sunny days. If you compare the California weather with the Seattle weather, California weather definitely wins. Number two, it has a lot of beaches and proximity to the coast. So if you're someone who loves that kind of an environment, then California is for you. Other than this, the Silicon Valley is located in the heart of California. It is a gold mine if you are in tech. Other than that, California has a lot of Asian community and great options, especially for the Indian food. So overall, comparing the pros and cons of moving to California, even though I would have got a great sunny weather, proximity to my friends, great Indian food, I decided not to relocate, and it all boiled down to the money. Because at the end of the day, if I would have moved to California, I would have saved less, I would have earned less, I would have burnt myself traveling from home to the office, and to me this was not acceptable. So I made the decision that was the best for myself and my family, and I decided not to relocate from Seattle to California. I mean, if you found this video to be helpful, please like it and share it with your friends. Other than that, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, LinkedIn and Twitter. Thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.